IRELIA is getting a rework, and I'm going to help you all understand what's going on in that rework. To start, I'll tell you all the objective of the rework. It's to give her a weaker early game, a stronger late game, more ability focus, and to remove bad gameplay that makes her overwhelming to fight. So far as reducing her early game power, they're giving her less health at level 1, less damage from her passive, less attack speed per stack of her passive, and less stacks, and less damage reduction from her W. To increase her late game power, they're giving her more damage reduction from her W, more health in the late game, more AD ratio on her passive, less cooldown in her Q from her ultimate, more damage on her Q to minions, and only needing to have 4 stacks instead of 5. To give Aurelia more ability focus, they're taking away some damage and attack speed from her passive, so she won't be able to rely on just right-clicking you to death. Aurelia is losing 4 MR, but her W is going to reduce magic damage at half the rate of physical damage. That means if she gets hit by an ability, well, a magic damage ability, and doesn't have her W up, she'll take more damage. But if she's using her W to block it, she'll take less damage. She also gets much more physical damage reduction later in the game. Her Q gets its cooldown reduced by her ultimate, so she can Q more often. Now here's the part where I'm going to need to explain things and not just give you guys the stats. Her E travel time is now standardized. What Aurelia players learned pretty quickly is that if you put her second E right underneath her, it doesn't travel and therefore it goes off instantly. If you put the second E far away from you, it does travel and doesn't go off instantly. Standardizing the distance that it travels, or I should say the speed at which it travels, whether it's under you or it's far away from you, means that Aurelia players that actually know this trick can't just instantly stun you. And remember, currently, if you get hit by her E, it does lead into a kill combo. So a practically unavoidable kill combo from good Aurelia players was probably not good for balance. Her E also can't be recast while CC'd, giving people a little bit more to actually play around her. Her Q movement speed was decreased, even though the patch notes say significantly. It was about an 8% decrease, I believe. This gives people more time to actually react to her, and it means that her 200 range with a very fast gap closer gets toned down a little bit, because now she's not just going to instantly run up your ass. And of course, the significant reduction to her ability to just right-click everyone to death gives her a lot better of an early game gameplay, I feel. My big takeaway from this is that by nerfing her early game, and particularly that E change, no longer allowing her E to be instant, are going to be extremely good changes for making her laning phase a lot more fair. Nerfing her early game DPS is something that is needed to happen for a very long time. The buffs to her late game look very high, and I'm a little bit concerned that those numbers are a bit too high, but we'll see. At the very least, nerfing that early game with her health, with her DPS, with her E, those are all very, very good changes. In addition, I think that bringing her W so that it has the magic damage reduction back, I think that's going to make a lot of people happy because a lot of people miss that aspect. Definitely, I think reducing her MR and then giving her the damage reduction, I think that's a pretty decent way to make it a trade-off. Overall, I'm cautiously optimistic about this rework, but some of these numbers are looking sketchy. So thank you all for watching. Special thank you to my Patreon supporters who enable these videos. Thank you, everyone. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope you learned something from this.